Hi, everybody. I wanted to jump on and tell you a little bit about Elementary STEMCon and beyond. Our early registration is ending in a few hours later tonight. Don't worry if you're seeing this too late for that because it's an excellent conference at any price. Like, I really should be, it should be two or three times the cost. But I want to share with you the top five reasons you can't miss this. You should not miss this, and I really want to be able to speak to you directly. So if you are watching this live or after the fact and you have any questions, let me know. But I want to kick this off with number five, which is actually maybe my number one, which is that this is more than PD. When was the last time that you've been to a professional development that when you left, you felt fired up and excited about teaching again? I know that in my lifetime, I've been to some amazing conferences and trainings that have done that. And then I've been to a whole lot of, you know, training. And one of the things that's so important to me with all of these conferences is that when you leave, you have a lot of great content you can use and information, and your brain is all fired up, but also your heart and your passion for teaching is reignited. And what was so beautiful about last year is that it did just that. And being around other teachers who are experiencing that at the same time you are is even that much more fuel to the fire. So the number five reason is it's a celebration of everything you love about teaching, everything that made you want to be a teacher in the first place. And I know that can be so hard to hold on to. That feeling is rare and beautiful. And it is probably my favorite thing in the whole wide world, which is why I focus on creating a conference that isn't just training. It should be more than that. And so far, we've been really successful. And I have no doubt that this year will be just as good, if not better, than last year. So that's my number five. My number four is that by registering, everybody who registers is actually going to get $50. It's actually over $50 in STEM resources because I asked our presenters if they would be willing to donate something because I do want it to be a celebration and I do want it to feel like almost like you got away with something by registering for this conference. And they were so generous that we actually are going to have 13. Actually, let me take this little thing off here. We're going to actually have 13 resources. And as I said, it's over $50 in STEM Challenge resources. They're not all STEM challenges, but they're all STEM resources from some of your very favorite teacher authors. So teachers are terrific. That bonus is already out there and released. And Vivify STEM has one, and that's already out there and released. So when you register, you already have access to those. And then you can see it's every Monday leading up to conference, you get something new to look forward to, which I just think is so much fun. So some of the other teacher authors that you will receive freebies from are Brooke Brown, Teach Outside the Box, Meredith Anderson, Momgineer, Carrie Tracy, Feel Good Teaching, Get Caught Engineering, Lisa Taylor, Teaching the Stars. I know I'm forgetting people, but it's very likely all of your favorites. And maybe some people you don't even know right now, but you should know, and you will know after the conference. And so that by itself is actually worth more than the cost of the conference, unless you're like registering in the very latest. I think even in the latest registration, it's only $50 to register. The very latest right now in early registration, it's $35.98, which is a total steal. At 9 p.m. Pacific tonight, it goes up to $39.98, which is also still a ridiculous bargain, especially considering this is before you even do any of the training. Okay, number three, the range of topics and grade levels covered at this conference, it's bananas. So last year we called this Elementary STEM Con, and this year we're calling it Elementary STEM Con and Beyond because I made a special effort to ask presenters to present on their topics of passion, which is where you get the best sessions ever. Is just don't pen people in with what subjects they think they should cover. I want to know, what do you think is important for teachers to know right now? What do you wish teachers were teaching more of? What are you excited about? And so we have all these different grade levels. We have a lot more secondary content than we did last year. We still have a lot of amazing elementary content. We have special education coming in. We have a lot more SEAM than we did last year, like specifically focused in on like making that A in STEAM really authentic and meaningful. I'm I'm just it's bananas. But I wanted to show you just in case you didn't see on the registration screen. Oh, I didn't share that. This is the link if you don't know where the registration screen is. that's scrolling along the bottom. But if you scroll down about a third through the page, the registration page that's linked down on the bottom, you'll see right after the amazing presenter pictures that we have, there's this document here that's Conference at a Glance. And I think this is a really good place to sort of get an overview outside of this registration screen. But this kind of shows you day by day. Here's the schedule. It also groups your topics by your grade level band. So it'll be like, if you're a K2 teacher, here's every session that relates that is tagged for K2. Here's every session for 3-5. Here's every session for secondary. You can also see these session by session on the little cards right here. This is a K5 session, and you can see the descriptions underneath. But there's so much great content here. And actually, I think this is going to lead into my next one, which is number 2. We have a combination of live sessions and pre-recorded. And the live sessions for me is where we made such connections, not just with each other as teachers, but also with some amazing authors, some amazing, what I call STEM pros or STEM professionals, people in the field. And I think we have such a lovely combination of educators and people who are STEM professionals, people who are artists and creators, and all of these things go into STEM, right? And STEAM. And these are just the 2 from day one that I am super excited about. And there are more panels and more live presentations being announced kind of as we get along and we nail down the final times and get the final agreements hammered out with our guests. But these are amazing. I've gotten so many great ideas and conversations have come out of the live sessions. So this is one of my very favorite things about Elementary STEM Con and Beyond is we just have what I call, I always say it's an embarrassment of riches. Between the presenters and the special guests, we are just full up with amazing, passionate people. And that lights me up inside. And I know it's going to light you up inside too. It's awesome. All right. Number 1, our growth equals student growth. Just hands down. That's really what this all comes down to. And one of the things that I am looking for that when I try to find presenters and sessions and topics to bring in, is I'm looking for people who are really serious about creating amazing, rigorous, and joyful experiences for our students. And so far, I've been so lucky with the people that we have found in the sessions that we have had, because I think STEM and STEAM, even if our kids aren't going to necessarily go into those careers, and many of them will, um, the social skills and what I call soft skills that underlie the things that we teach when we are doing STEM lessons are going to help them no matter what. Because let's face it, our future is unknowable. We have no idea, when our kids 20 years from now enter the workforce, what jobs are going to be available, what is the world going to look like, what are they going to need to know how to do. So we can't necessarily teach the discrete skills that are going to apply to these future jobs, many of which we don't even know what they're going to be. But if we can teach things like, let me pull this out, how to embrace failure and use it productively, how to be persistent, how to take risks, how to be okay with making mistakes and learning from them, always be learning, the 4 C's: critical thinking, creativity, communication, collaboration. I knew I was going to forget one. All of these things are so crucial and so important. And what I know is that when I go to a PD and I've been fired up and I'm excited about teaching again, I bring a different energy back to my classroom. And that for me is what drives me when I'm creating these conferences. So I am looking for people who are going to fire you up and reconnect you with your calling, because this year, especially the last year, has been so hard, right? It's so hard to hold on to these things that make us remember, like that first thing that made us want to teach. And that's what I'm about, is creating these opportunities for us to connect with our calling, but also connect with each other and get excited again about all the things that are possible, even though we know the reality is there are a lot of obstacles here. There are a lot of things that we have to work around, but there are ways to do it. And when you have the energy, when your fuel has been added to your fire, it's a lot easier to do those things. So those are my 5 reasons why you cannot miss Elementary STEM Con and Beyond. If you're watching this on Sunday, January 31st, make sure that you go and you register before 9 p.m. Pacific tonight so you can get the very best price. If you're seeing this afterward, don't feel bad. this is still an amazing deal. People are constantly telling me I should be charging more. And the reason that I don't is I want this to be so accessible. I know a lot of teachers are paying for this themselves, although you can try to get your school, your district to cover you with that PDF document. The conference at a glance is a good thing to send off to your principal or admin. But I want the best for our students, and that means I want the best for our teachers. And I could charge more, but I could like this is a no brainer, and I want to come. So I think that's the way to go. And I also, before I go, I just wanted to say I saw this super sweet comment, so I wanted to pull it in. Thank you so much. I think last year was incredible. Oh, one more thing I do want to show you. I want you to see because I know it's probably you're like, okay, yeah, you like it because you're there and you're presenting and all of that. I do want to just say if you go to our registration screen and you scroll down almost to the bottom, it's just right before the FAQ. You can see some of the comments that we got from teachers last year, and this is a small subset. And for me, the idea that we had so many people who were veteran teachers, taught for 20 years or more, who are saying this is the best conference that they've ever attended. A virtual conference is the best conference that they've ever attended. And this was not an uncommon comment. I feel like this was such a huge success. I feel so proud of what we did last year and so fired up to do just as much, if not more. We're planning on more this year. So I hope to see you there in April. Again, the link is scrolling right down there underneath and grab it as soon as you can. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm very happy to answer them. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, or whenever you're watching this, have a lovely week, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.